My name is Kevin, and today we're talking about two biting creatures. Okay, first let's sort them. So now you know, one type of animal is a species. A species is classified into a genus, or lots of genus are called genera. And genera makes a family. And lots of families make an order. Lots of orders make a class. So first, these are creepy crawlies. Okay? So first, now you know, these are not insects. That's the first thing you know. The next one, they have a range from 25 to more than 1,000 legs. And finally, they can eject poison. So, can you have a guess? One of them has a stink gland, and one of them has a fang.
A spider?
No, it's not. Because it's from 25 to more than 1,000 feet. How could that be a spider?
Wow.
Well, the thing that ranges from 25 to 100 feet is a centipede. And the thingy that is more than 1,000 feet is a millipede. So now you know the topic today is about centipedes and millipedes. That last one was a really hard quiz. Well, where could you find a centipede or a millipede? Well, it can be found worldwide. Also, you might even see a centipede lurking behind your backyard because they like dark places. So you just need to flip a rock and you might see one of them. The chances are you might see an earthworm, some wood lice, a centipede, or a millipede. So what does the word millipede mean? The word millipede means 1,000 feet. That is correctly true. While millipedes range from about 900 and up. 900 feet and up. That's a lot. Well, just because it is arranged into segments. And each segment has 4 feet. Unlike centipedes segments only have 2 feet. That makes millipedes have more feet. And then now we're talking about centipedes. What does centipede mean? It means 100 feet, which is a bit kind of like wrong. You know why? Because some centipedes only have 30 legs. Well, where could you get a 100 from a 30? That's a very impressive number for the estimate. Okay, so first let's look at the body parts of a millipede and a centipede. First, you know, a millipede is not an insect, and it is a creature that is long, kind of like a rope, and it has lots of legs, and it has segments. So now we can see that it also has an antenna. And the fearsome thing is, don't you know that millipedes have jaws? Millipedes have jaws, so beware. This thing can bite. And centipedes, they do not have fearsome jaws, but they have poisonous fangs. So let's see at a centipede's attack plan. So a centipede uses its fangs and pinch into the meal. Okay, so when the prey stops wriggling, then it will kind of like use its mouth to bite off bits from it. So these fangs, inside there is a venom gland, just like spiders. And these only have 30 feet or more. And when they have lesser feet, they have longer feet. A wider range of feet, and they could go faster than a millipede. And also, the feet goes on like a pattern, like a wave that goes around its body. So for balancing, it has two really, really long legs at the bottom of its rear, so it could balance easier and it won't trip up. Next, we're talking about the giant ones and how it could affect our life. First, it's the giant centipede. So, first, you think giant centipedes are really scary, and they are. Well, in the Solomon Islands, these creatures have a really, really painful bite. And to get the minds off it, the visitors need to put their hands in boiling water. Wow! And the giant centipede bites in Malaysia are described as worse than a snake's.
Wow.
In India, giant centipedes bites can even kill people. That's dangerous. And there's even a kind of like more dangerous and more ridiculous story. In Haiti, from the West Indies or West India, giant millipedes attack the local chickens. Well, don't you think that they need a Sunday roast? So how? They can bite it or even spray it with jets of poison. Or they even release puffs of smoke. And this poison gas kills the chicken.
Really?
And gets everything on its way. So those are really dangerous ones, right? But despite their size, it could be a meal for others. So now you know, if they are bigger, they're easier to shot and catch, right? So despite their size, giant centipedes and giant millipedes have it really tough. Giant centipedes, for example, they get eaten by giant hornbills. So first, the hornbill just looks at the ground, and then it nabs a passing by centipede. Well, because the centipede is in its beak, it has no chance to bite it back. And finally, the poor centipede becomes a meal for the bird. And also, millipedes have it tough too, but in a funnier way. Okay, so do you know a meerkat? It eats insects and small animals, right? And one of its main food is the millipede. Well, funny enough, they always screw up their faces while eating. Well, who expects a millipede to be yummy? Yes, so now let's look back at the millipede's body parts. So it also has stink glands on each of its section. So first, if the centipede wants to eat the millipede, first it needs to eject the poison. So the centipede will try to eject the poison, but the millipede also has a defense game. Well, first, most millipedes will curl up into a ball. Well, kind of like into a circle. And then, do you know what disgusting thing and horrible thing it does? It squirts out stink gas and stink liquid. So it lures out the prey. That's a bit like kind of like showing your stinky shoes off the face of a robber so he doesn't kill you. What a bit idiotic thing, right? Well, millipedes and centipedes have one thing common. They both eject poison. They both have jaws and fangs, and they both are dangerous but also have backward effects. So, millipedes and centipedes control the insect population. Well, you wouldn't. So, first you have the centipede. It likes to eat other millipedes, and millipedes like to eat small bugs. So, if you had one in your house, it might keep control of your insect population, but not the humanity in your house. Of course. And not the chicken population too. So they are both important and crucial in the ecosystem, or else your house will be full of flies, mosquitoes, and other small bugs. So, what do you think about these ugly bugs? Are they interesting? If you think they are, then please like and subscribe our video. And please please watch more videos in the future from our channel. And now it's time to say goodbye. Bye.